Past President Tom, I'd like to introduce Plus Secretary Treasurer Carol Barnes for introduction of our guests.
Good afternoon. I believe we have one visiting Rotarian, Jennifer Winstead from the Rotary Club of Baton Rouge. And we have several guests of members. Ron Henson has a few.
Yes, I'd like to introduce Mary Ann Bowie. She's back here. Mary Ann is from Sarasota. She's helping me by getting me this Anyway, Mary Ann is the chief executive of Great Connections US, a nonprofit for which she's had great passion for years. She also had a consulting firm in Sarasota that did consulting on green issues. She's also currently attached. This is not her greatest passion, but she's very good at what she does. She is the community planner for the Global Strike Command in Marksdale Aerospace. So,
Right. Thank you, Mary. Roxanne Johnson has a few.
My guest today is my big sister, moved here from Nevada. We were both born here.
Okay, Adele, glad to have you here. And Jerry Montgomery has a few.
Carol, Jennifer Winstead is also the chairman and the CEO of Pennington Biomedical Research, in addition to being a Rotarian. And I have as my other designee, Ross Barrett, who is with VB on Investments, and he is also the manager of the investment fund that commercializes Pennington startup technologies. Is that right, Ross? Welcome.
Dane Hassel has laryngitis today, but he has asked that we introduce his guest, Dr. Barry Richardson, the former dean of the School of Business at St. Mary College. Barry, welcome. Welcome to all our guests, and please silence your cell phone.
Thank you, Carol. Got several announcements to make. Again, dues are due. They are $160 for the first 6 months of the year. So if you haven't paid your dues, please do so. Civic grants are also available to nonprofits, and the application deadline for our club is February 28th. If you know of any organizations that you'd like to pass this information on to, please do so quickly. The application is available online at our club website, which is rotaryclubofshreveport.org. No spaces, no dots. rotaryclubofshreveport.org. Contact Leslie Quinn for more information. Our board is meeting tomorrow, February 16th. It's a location change. We're going to be at the American Towers conference room. So that's 10th floor, 11:45 tomorrow. I'd like to remind everyone about the District Foundation Banquet. So that's coming up April 1st. No April Fools. We have the RI president coming, so it's going to be a real big deal. Shreveport Convention Center. It's $50 a person. Also, if you contribute $500 to the RI Foundation, then you can attend the reception with the RI president, Ray Klingensmith. So, once in a lifetime kind of deal, coming so close to home. RI Convention, just to kind of keep that in everybody's top of mind. That's Saturday, May 21st through the 25th in New Orleans. The cost is $340. After March 31st, it goes up $40. It becomes $380. There's going to, Jennifer, I think, had mentioned to several that there's a one-day pass to the House of Friendship, and that's going to be good for May 21st, and it's $40. That's a pretty good bargain. And after March 31st, that one-day pass is going to be limited in quantity. And that's going to be at the New Orleans Convention Center halls G through H. And you may notice that there's a flyer at each one of the tables. I think the Rotary Club of Metairie may be putting on a golf tournament, and that's going to be Thursday, May 19th at Lakewood Golf Club in New Orleans. Former home to 26 New Orleans Opens, and that's $100 per golfer. I think that does it for our announcements. So, moving on, we have our program. Everybody's expressed a lot of interest in this today. We've got two physicians from LSU Health Sciences Center. James Patterson will be introducing our speaker today, and he's a leading authority on Alzheimer's diagnosis. And I was looking at his bio and only understood about 2 sentences of it, but his research interests include neuropsychotic illnesses, specifically psychophrenia and Alzheimer's disease. And he uses tools, or the tools of which of these disorders are evaluated are also of interest. He studies the brain's function in vivo using functional neuroimaging. He also serves as the role of director of PET neuroimaging research for the PET Imaging Center here in Shreveport. So Dr. Patterson, if you would please join me in introducing our program. Dr. James Patterson.
Thank you very much for having me here. Thank you very much for the free meal. I was told that I didn't have to pay for it as long as my introduction was short. If I went over, they'd be hitting me up. So, without further ado, I am Director of PET Neuroimaging Research at Biomedical Research Foundation, but also mostly affiliated with LSU Health Sciences Center and the Department of Psychiatry. I wear a lot of hats. My speaker today is Dr. Jeffery Keller. He is going to be talking about why Louisiana has one of the highest rates of Alzheimer's disease in the United States. I first met him at a public forum on December 7th of last year. Yeah, the talk there was very similar to this one and very interesting. I think you're going to get a lot out of it. I'm going to warn you right now that you're not going to like the implications. I'll give you a hint. Fried catfish. Dr. Keller is Professor and Associate Executive Director for Basic Research at the Pennington Biomedical Research Center. He's also the recipient of the Hibernian National Bank Edward G. Schleider Endowed Chair and has published over 130 peer-reviewed articles on the topics of aging, oxidative stress, and Alzheimer's disease. He serves as the Director of the Institute for Dementia Research and Dementia, which he established at the PBRC in 2008. The Institute has over 1,300 participants from around the state of Louisiana, with many of them right here in Shreveport, and is one of the 12 largest such studies in the United States. So with that, please welcome Dr. Keller.
Okay, I guess I want to thank Rotary for having me here today. I also want to just take a quick poll. How many people here have heard about the Pennington? Okay. Jennifer, you see? Okay. I also want to thank Dr. Patterson for the kind introduction. I came here in 2008 with the humble goal of setting up a world-class research program in dementia research. And the Pennington, what we've traditionally been known for, we're one of the 11 campuses of LSU. We're the same as Health Science Center Shreveport, LSU Alexandria. We're our own campus. We focus on research. We have an international reputation with obesity, diabetes work. And we're starting to focus more on the triggers of how those two complications in particular trigger a host of other diseases. And as you'll see today, there's a strong implication for both of those factors in Alzheimer's disease and age-related dementias. I'm going to give you a little bit of overview on the disease. I'm going to also then go into what we're doing and also some ways you can become involved if you so choose, like your other 312 participants here in the Shreveport area. Are there any people in this room that are members of the study currently? Okay, well thank you. Thank you for participating and hopefully be able to spread the word to some other folks. So the title is, I was told to have a provocative title. If that doesn't get it, I don't know what will. So why does Louisiana have one of the highest rates of Alzheimer's disease? So I guess next. In the United States, there's 5.3 million people with Alzheimer's. Next. So if you're doing math, it's about one every 70 seconds. In Louisiana, it comes out to about 83,000 people, although that number is going to be low, as you'll see. You're talking about 60% of these people end up needing to be within nursing homes, and they provide a disproportionate amount of care and financial resources when they go to the nursing homes. And those that stay in the home, it's approximately 100, in Louisiana, it's approximately 181,000 people. These are neighbors, family, providing care for the individual with Alzheimer's disease. Estimated just in Louisiana to be 206 million hours of unpaid work, and just that being a cost of approximately $2 billion in lost time at work, etc. Of course, we all know that money is not even really the major issue here. It's a devastating disease to least. The individual, you see the person, but the person is not there. Very devastating disease. It actually, even the care providers usually die before the individuals with the disease. They're under this burden of stress similar to those that's seen in combat veterans. Very horrible. 1 in 10 individuals in Louisiana would be directly affected by Alzheimer's disease. Next. So, as I give hundreds of these talks around the country, I can anticipate questions. One of them is always, what's the difference between Alzheimer's disease and dementia? And so, we want to have people here being a little more knowledgeable on this subject. So the first thing we're going to learn is dementia it's a decline in cognitive status from a previous state. There could be a whole host of reasons why one has declined. Okay, next. So when you think about it, there can be things that are reversible, irreversible. When we talk about Alzheimer's, we're talking about something that unfortunately at the current stage is irreversible. You're talking about, in Alzheimer's disease, we're primarily affecting, especially early on, a memory complaint that's significant enough to affect both work and social life. But there are a whole host of other dementias that can affect various aspects of cognition, from language, executive function, your ability to make a plan, carry it out, etc. These dementias can be associated with additional neurological abnormalities, but when we talk about Alzheimer's disease, we're talking about a disease that still leaves someone's reflexes intact, gait is normal gait, no gross neurological abnormality in the presence of that memory complaint. It can be brought about by a specific event or medical condition. Many of these dementias can, but when we talk about Alzheimer's, we're talking about something that can't be defined as happening at a specific time. Alzheimer's doesn't happen on a Saturday. Okay, that's what it's not one specific day. Wasn't due to a fall. Wasn't a blunt head injury. It wasn't due to a change in medications. It's Alzheimer's disease is a disease that progresses slowly over time. It can have a fast progression or slow progression. We talk about Alzheimer's, we can see that generally we're talking about a slowly progressing disease. Next. That being said, the most consistent thing about Alzheimer's disease is that it's different in everyone who has it.